Welcome to 91 Reasons, a pop culture fueled rocket into the far reaches of nerd culture. Featuring your hosts, Jeff, Rachel, Luna, Austin, and Josie. It's Tucker time.
All right, so it is going to be October. This episode will come out in October. We're taping it in September, but by the time it comes out, it'll be October. And October can mean only one thing. The fact that I'm sitting in the living room with Julie and Glenn Schmidt and Shea Foley can mean only one thing. It's time to talk about Star Wars The Force Awakens. We've had a little bit of time to rest and to hash it out. Well, Shea, what'd you think of The Force Awakens?
I still like it.
You
I was watching it today.
Were you really?
I was.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I can ever watch it again.
We've been watching it just about every day on cable now.
Is it? Oh, it's already on cable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous? When I was a kid, Return of the Jedi didn't come on cable until like 1987.
Oh, it took forever.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember the video. Do you remember the video poster for Return of the Jedi? It was the forest of Endor, and there was the tapes as the speeder bikes flying through the forest, and it said speeding to home video.
Yeah, but that's also back when it was in the theater for 6 months.
Yeah. Well, for some of it was time for a year. So
Yeah.
no, it's Halloween time. I said we were going to have a whole batch of Halloween episodes. We had Kevin Horton with Horton's Halloween. Rachel has been going to Halloween every day with all her life, right, honey? Right?
Yeah, my legs. I can't. You'd hear me, but I can't get closer because I can't walk.
Yes, Rachel, unfortunately, now is a invalid. She's in a wheelchair, but she solves crime like Ironside, so it works out.
Oh, Halloween hot.
Who's that reference for?
Long nights in a row.
Yes, Rachel's been at Not Scary Farm more than I have this season. So, no, we're here to talk about home haunt. A home haunt, that is where now this is not, look, you can't put up a few paper skeletons and a tissue paper ghost and go, look, I have a home haunt. No, these are people that go above and beyond and do crazy, crazy things to their house. Like Scott, who does Mystic Motel, the one with the ride in it, right? And how many other homes? There's like 100 home haunts around here, right?
Yeah.
But your home haunt is called The Legend of Boot Hill. And you're wearing the shirt even. You must be high up in the company to get a shirt.
We know people.
All right, so tell us what is Boot Hill?
Boot Hill is a home haunt that I actually started with Rick West.
Rick West from Theme Park Adventure.
Theme Park Adventure. And it didn't start as Boot Hill. It just started as a display.
Yeah.
Rick and I were friends, and
Now, what year was this?
I want to say it was 96.
96.
Yeah.
That was the summer of the Rock, Independence Day.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was 96.
Oh, and striptease.
And we got together, and he said, you know, hey, do you want to do something for Halloween? You know.
So what did it look like initially? Because in '96, it's going to be hard for you listening, especially if you're younger. Halloween wasn't a big deal back then.
No, and that was
Halloween Haunt was 7 or 8 nights, maybe 12 at the most.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons that we kind of talked about doing something. It was exactly that. It was, you know, growing up sort of in the heyday of Halloween. We remember the house on the corner that nobody would ever want to go to.
Sure, I always talk about that. Every neighborhood had one.
Yeah, and it's
right.
It's very funny because me growing up, I did not want to go to those houses. I didn't like those houses. I didn't like scary movies. None of that.
Really?
No.
How did you see? Everybody we talk to, they go, like if you talk to Merry Imagination, right, or Tim, and you go, man, Halloween. They go, yeah. When I was a kid, I watched The Exorcist while I was playing with Legos, right?
No, it was.
No, you know how? No,
I loved Halloween. Didn't like scary.
What was the scariest movie you saw as a kid? Were you really?
Yeah,
You the
pretty
same
much.
way?
Yeah.
You know what? I really don't remember seeing like any like true horror till I was probably in my teens.
Wow, that's
I would
amazing.
say.
You didn't have, think, my story is like a lot of people's story. We had a babysitter. Mom went away
Right.
for the night, and the babysitter goes, "Hey, you kids want to watch The Exorcist?"
Right.
And I was traumatized for years.
Right.
Because The Exorcist is not a horror movie. The Exorcist is a documentary to kids. Because I went to church, and it was like, look, the devil's coming for you. Did you see that movie? I don't know how they got footage of that, but the devil got her, right? So,
That's a rough start.
that's a rough start,
very
right?
rough start.
And there was we also watched Halloween, and then there's a movie, and I actually have it on DVD called The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. You ever seen that? It's not
No.
even that scary a movie. I think it's Jodie Foster, but there's a scene where she goes up in the attic and somebody tries to chase her and she bonks them on the head with the attic door, and when they pop back up, they're like covered in blood. You know, like Boy George has that crap off his head, right? That's what they look like. And I remember, like, I haven't seen the movie since I was a kid. I'm like, I don't know if I can watch it. I'm gonna get scared to death. But you didn't watch horror movies.
Not at all. Not.
But when you're a teen, like
Yeah, I
you
think-
had to
I
go to the
think-
movies, right? Like you got to see the latest.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Nightmare on
the
Elm
first-
Street.
I think the first horror movie that I remember seeing in the theater was Nightmare 3.
Dream Warriors.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's the first one
That's a
really
great movie.
remember seeing in the theater.
Really? That's
I
what's
mean, I
that? 86? 87? Maybe 86.
Something like that.
Yeah, about right.
Wow.
And the only thing I really remember that is kind of classified as horror was Alien, and I saw it on
Yeah, see, here's the thing.
video when I
People-
was probably 13.
People who classify Alien as horror are not us.
Right.
To me, it's like, it's got spaceships,
Right.
and it's got a monster, and they're running, and like, it's a horror movie. No, what are you talking about? They're in space. You can't have a horror movie in space. It's a space movie.
I'm kind of the same way. I think I started seeing scary movies about the time that I could almost start driving to them. You know?
Yeah.
And
So
then
that's
go-
late.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was
I
the
mean-
What was the first one you saw in a theater?
It's hard to say. I mean, the first Nightmare on Elm Street is probably close.
Yeah, that was, I
That's
think, 83,
82,
84.
I think, something like that.
The one I saw, my mom wasn't involved, and that's where you get into trouble because your mom has your best interest for you, right? My stepdad took me and my sister. Now he's my sister's father, so I'm the tag along. What you want to go? You kids want to go to the movie? Absolutely. What do you want to see? Steven Spielberg, Poltergeist. It's for the family.
Oh, man.
And like, talk about like, if Exorcist is about religion because we go to church and that's bad, Poltergeist is about your toys trying to kill you. So the fact that clown doll like grabs the kid, I was like, I gotta go home and clean my room. They're all coming to get me. I'm not like, I don't treat them well enough. You know, when the Hulk rides by on the horse, right? Is that a Raiders of the Lost horse? Raiders of the Lost Ark horse?
It might be.
I think it might be, right? Oh my God. But yours was Elm Street.
Well,
Elm Street's a scary movie, the first one.
Yeah, as far as going to
He's not
movies,
campy in that
One
one.
I do remember seeing though early was what's the one with the little Zuby doll, whatever. Remember that?
Oh,
guy?
Trilogy of
Trilogy
Terror.
Trilogy of Terror. I saw
Oh,
that.
that's a
And
TV movie.
That scared the crap
I saw
out of me.
that.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember seeing that.
The Zuni
It's
fetish
like
doll.
That little thing running around scared the crap out of me. Yeah, yeah.
Karen Black, the guy goes, look, all you gotta do is make sure the chain doesn't fall off the doll. And what does she do? She lets the chain fall off the doll. You know what? That movie, that's a TV movie from like 73 or 74.
Yeah,
It's
something like
Trilogy
that.
of Terror because there's 3 stories.
Yeah.
That's the closer because that's the best.
Yeah, I don't remember the other ones. I just
don't
remember
either.
that one.
The other one is Karen Black plays a woman who's being stalked. Like this woman just hates her. And in the end, she murders her, and it turns out it's her.
Right.
She has a split personality, and her other personality, like, talk about hating yourself. Like, I have to kill. I don't remember that the other one is, though.
I don't either.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because the trilogy implies 3,
Right.
but I can only get 2 out of 3. But, see, that movie spoiled me, too, because I remember when Child's Play came out, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be about a little kid trapped in his house and the dolls trying to kill him. And have you seen Child's Play? Like, it's a good movie, but if you're expecting Trilogy of Terror, you don't get it. Because, like, at one point, Chucky's, like, riding the subway
Right.
across town to kill someone. And you're like, boy, this doll's really into killing people. And he's, like, putting money in I'm going across town, man. But, no, that Trilogy of Terror is great.
Aren't they making another one of those? Another Chucky movie?
I think so, yeah.
I think they are
About
actually.
it,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Good franchises never die, right? Never, ever, ever. Like the doll can get ripped up, melted, blown up, and suddenly they're like, "No, I'm back, baby. Somebody fixed me," you know. Like, was that the plot of Jason? You ever see Jason X?
Yeah.
Where he gets just destroyed,
Yeah.
and the space robots are like, "We must fix him and rebuild him and make him better." You're like, "Wait, who programmed this?" Because I would definitely put, like, if I was going to make a robot surgeon, it would definitely be no serial killers.
Right.
Let the serial killer die, right? Okay, so you weren't into horror movies.
No.
So what switched so that by you said you started it in 96 and then Glenn comes along later, right?
Yeah, I mean, 96, it came mainly because nobody was doing anything anymore. The neighborhoods were dead. Trick-or-treating had pretty much died out.
Yeah, I know the 90s were pretty rough for trick-or-treating. The news media really tried to kill it.
Yeah.
For the record, no kid ever died from eating poison candy. Nobody ever got a razor blade in an apple. That's from a movie. The only kids that were ever hurt by Halloween candy were given that candy by someone that they knew that wanted to hurt them individually. And it didn't stop. Like I trick-or-treated in the 70s and early 80s. I'd get home with like a popcorn ball. My mom would go, "Nope."
Yep.
Oh yeah. See, I was a little bit before that started happening, but I saw it happen. You know.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's one of those things where an urban legend
Right.
or a movie plot, for God's sake, affects real life in a way that... I mean, remember when we were kids, you'd get your costume on, like, as soon as the sun started to go down, it's like, I gotta get out there. And you put the costume on. For me, it was Darth Vader, right? The elastic snap and the poncho with the Vader's face on it, in case people were unclear who I was. And you go out in the streets, and there'd be 100 kids.
Oh, yeah, everywhere.
It looked just like E.T.
Yeah.
And then slowly it starts to go away. But here's the thing is, as the trick-or-treating is getting lower, I'm getting older, so I just assume it's me. But it's actually the media, and the 90s were really bad for Halloween.
And another thing, back then, you weren't out there with your parents with flashlights.
No, of course
none of that
not.
stuff.
Your mom said, "Pillowcase," and the pillowcase is more important than your life. I want it back by 10. You're like, "Yes, I will have it." Because any kid that went out with one of those plastic buckets regretted it on the third block. Because it's full, and you're like, "I got to start making tough choices here. Tootsie Roll's got to go.
Right.
Fun size has got to stay." And fun size, don't get me started. There's nothing fun about smaller candy. Right, Austin?
Yeah.
Fun size used to be, they took a Three Musketeer and they chopped it into 3 pieces.
Yeah.
Regarding Halloween, did they hand you guys, like when you were young, apple slices and...
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were
Candy.
usually
A
was
whole apple.
older
Candied apples.
older ladies would give you a candy apple or an apple,
Apple
or
cider.
apple,
Cider,
or a
all that stuff.
popcorn ball that they had worked on,
Yep.
or like some lady in my neighborhood would put like all of that in one of those little paper bags
baggie, yeah.
and give you the bag, and then your mom would go, "Nope,
An
nope, nope."
assortment.
I'm like, I don't think Mrs. Rabinowitz wants to kill me. I really don't. You know, or the worst is you get the handful of pennies.
Yeah.
Here's some pennies.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
great! And they're supposed to go in your UNICEF box. Remember the UNICEF box? At church before Halloween, they would give you this flat piece of cardboard that you would like, "Oh, cool, a project," and you put it all together, right? And then all of a sudden you go, it looks like a Barnum's Animal Cracker box, and it says, "Hey kids, take this trick-or-treating for money." And you're like, "This is the greatest thing ever." And then give the money to UNICEF. Wait a minute. There's where it took a turn. I don't want to give it to UNICEF. So anyways. So 96, where was it in 96? And has it changed locations?
It is not.
So it's been at the same location since 96?
It started at my mom's house in Irvine in 96. I was living in LA at the time. Rick was living in Irvine. And yeah, we just kind of said, "Hey, let's do something." Didn't have any real direction. Just said, let's put some stuff out. Went and bought a fog machine. Had a couple can lights from Home Depot. Built some styrofoam tombstones.
So 96,
And-
you had a fog machine.
Yeah,
So that's a big deal.
it was. And
Fog
it was
machines,
expensive.
yeah. Fog machines only recently became like one of those things that Spencer gives,
Yeah, no, it was
or the
like,
Spirit
it was like,
store.
I think $500 for a fog
I
machine.
totally believe it, man. Because at Scary Farm, the fog machines are like the mint, like the press to make money. Like nobody messes with those.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the fogger, man. And you see kids like putting their mouths on it and sucking in fog, and you go, "Are you stupid?"
I do that.
You do not. Do you
Yeah,
really?
he does.
But
He
you're old enough
does.
to. You can actually smoke if you want, Shay. You don't need to, because they all get up and they go. Look at me. I'm so sophisticated. Yeah, you're for 13. You're really sophisticated.
Yeah, I do that.
He totally does it.
That's so funny.
So yeah, so it started very simple. Didn't have a theme, didn't have anything. It was just let's
Halloween.
Let's put some stuff out and make it fun.
Daniel Miller calls that haunt stew.
Right.
Whatever you throw out, zombie, Frankenstein, mummy, Dracula, haunt stew. No theme, haunt stew.
And at the time,
term.
I was doing prosthetics every Halloween, and I just happened to do kind of like a zombie cowboy. So we did it that year, and then the next year we're like, let's do it again. Let's try and build on it. And because of the zombie cowboy thing, we came up with like a Western. Rick came up with a Western theme.
Oh, that's great.
And we figured Boot Hill. It's a very kind of generic, Western graveyard.
It's a great title.
And he wrote like a 2-page backstory.
So is he out in line like the kids are trying to trick or treat? He's like, no. Here's the backstory. Read this before you go up. Read this before you go up. You can't go in.
Almost. We actually we literally for years and years and years we actually had sheets printed and.
I was totally kidding.
No, we had them on the table.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great.
And people would pick them up and read them, and a lot of people were like, "Is this real?" Yeah, this used to be a church. No, it's not.
But here's the thing: you learn that very quickly, especially at Halloween.
Oh yeah.
If you put something in print or make a video,
right.
People really like because I've told this story before. When we did Possessed, I made a video where it said, right where you're, because it was at Knott's Berry Farm, right where you're sitting. This used to be farmland, which is true.
Right.
And here's the house that used to be at the exact location where you're at, and here's the family that lived there, and there was a murder, and then there was a murder here, and I swear to God, I had employees go, I can't believe that's true. Wait a minute. Those pictures came off Google. I just made that crap up.
It was exactly the same.
That's really funny.
Exactly the same. And he mixed it in. We made the because my mom lives in Woodbridge, so he made the Old Town Bridgewood, and had this whole story about this railroad that went through, and it was a great story, and it really kind of hooked, and that was the beginning of Boot Hill that second year. And it started very small. We added a couple little things. Since we had the Western thing, we started making our props in that direction. And I did it for Rick. I did it with Rick for 4 years, and then I moved up north to San Francisco for a couple of years. So we stopped doing it. And over those 4 years, it got popular. I mean, we didn't really. There was no true internet really at that point. I mean, there was, but it wasn't.
Nobody. The people on it wouldn't come out of their house as long as go trick or treating.
We would print out.
It's just what I mean.
We would print out flyers and canvas in the neighborhood. And
what year did you get on the internet?
I mean, I've been on for. I mean, I was on when AOL was DOS based.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been online from the get go.
Because I bought my web TV box at Best Buy in '98, and I remember going online. There wasn't a lot to go online, but I just remember reading about this. I went to the thing and I said, we'll get back to we're all over the place. But I remember asking the guy now is this going to get me on the internet and the World Wide Web? Because I want to get on both. The guy's like, yeah.
Those are the days where you got excited because you got a 56K modem upgrade.
Yeah, and it would take over the phone, right?
Yeah.
And Web TV had this loading menu that was really distinct. It was a highway going to a city in the dark. And it would go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And I just remember stuff's going down in the city tonight, man. I am on the internet. And that's where I first read the script to Phantom Menace in summer of '98, and all the toys and all that. I mean, it's just so funny. You talk about the early days of the internet. Kids have no idea. They have no idea. Dialing up Philip Wise's Star Wars Collector's Galaxy, remember, which became Rebel Scum, and dialing that up and finally getting the pictures to load. It would, because oh my God, he's got Wave 2 of the Phantom Menace. I got to see this, right? So then Newt Gunray's coming up, right, and then Rachel goes, I need the phone. Oh, they're good. I'm back at the city, so. Anywho,
so we basically
so yours was just word of mouth.
Yeah, we covered the neighborhood, and it got more popular, and then we ended it in '99, and I moved up north, and and we kind of joke about it now because I told Glenn we basically put our Boot Hill sign out with a little like rest in peace below it.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
people, the whole Halloween weekend were knocking my mom's door. Where'd it go? What happened? So I ended up coming back down, and I actually did a little haunt with Glenn over to sister's house in Woodbridge, and it kind of got it going again. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, do you want to do Boot Hill?" 'Cause basically at that point, all the stuff that we had that I'd done with Rick, it was all stored at my mom's house on the side of the house. So I kind of said, well, let's do it one more year, and I'll clear out the size of my mom's house, and that'll be it. We'll
Famous last words.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was 13 years ago.
And you've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. So it was one more year, and we got such a response, and it wasn't even just the response of people that showed up the nights that we did it. It was the people in the neighborhood, the people on the street.
Right.
People that have been there came back and are like, "Oh, we're so glad you guys are doing it again. This place has been just a ghost town, no pun intended." And people really enjoyed the fact that it was coming back.
Yeah.
So we did it one year, and then it was like,
That's got to make you feel good.
It was great. And
because a lot of times you do this stuff and you think, well, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Right.
But for people to come over and go, hey, we're so glad you're doing this again.
Yeah,
that's got to be great.
And that was, like Glenn said, that was 13 years ago, and it's grown and grown and grown in a big, big way.
So describe what is, and so now you've transferred. So Rick West is out.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing Theme Park Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Now you bring Glenn in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now do you say we're gonna do it at your sister's house or we're gonna do it at my mom's? How does that happen?
It was always going to be at my mom's house, mainly because
Your mom must love that.
Yeah, and it's every year it's a little bit. It's kind of like are we doing Boot Hill? I'm like,
well, of course we are, Ma.
I'm not sure. I'll talk to my mom about it. We'll see how it goes. The biggest thing that's really kind of, I shouldn't say prevented Boot Hill because it happens every year, but makes my mom hesitant about it is because it's gotten so big. The safety aspect of it has become a bit of an issue. Because especially on Halloween, we get so much foot traffic and vehicle traffic at the same time.
Yeah.
And and people lose their minds and they don't realize I'm standing in the middle of the street.
Oh
And there
yeah,
are cars
sure,
coming down the street. So every year it's a little bit dicey.
You almost need to block the street off.
Well,
but who's getting in trouble this year for that? Boney Island. Poor Boney Island is getting a bill from the city because of, well, if you block the streets, you're going to have cops. You got to pay for the cops.
Well,
come on. What happened to having fun?
This is what we did. Because, originally when I started it with Rick, we would do, and it was a lot of work by the fourth year. We would do it all for 1, maybe 2 nights. When I started with Glenn, we started bumping it up. And now we're up to 8 or 9 nights every year.
9 nights. Wow.
Yeah, this year, last year was this year because of where it kind of falls. It's 8.
Do you get a crowd?
We do.
Moving back from Halloween, the 8th day the first day, how much of a crowd do you get?
It's always kind of surprising. Like last year was a little bit odd. We didn't get a lot, but the year before, when we opened on a Friday, it was busy all night.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
it just goes to show you how much people like. I've talked about this before with just people. How much we love Halloween. That we Americans have figured out a way to stretch it out.
Right.
Because Halloween used to be one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put your costume on, and by 11 o'clock, that's it. If it was a Saturday night, you could watch a movie. If it was a school night, you're in bed.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, look, I don't care how much candy you have. You're going to bed. And we figured a way. We're the generation that did it.
That's right.
We grew up loving Halloween so much that now it's 8, 9, 10, at Knott's 23 nights. At Universal, I think it's 67 nights. I mean, it never ends, right?
Yeah.
The spirit stores open up right after 4th of July, and the Halloween clubs open year round.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's and it's grown in both the number of days that we've done it, and as well as the footprint hasn't changed. It's
what we throw into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's at my mom's house. It's never in the house. It's only the front yard. And it's amazing how many people will just walk into somebody's house.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And
It's
we've-
Halloween.
Yeah, and we've tried numerous things on to keep people out of the front door. And we finally, the last couple of years, we finally kind of figured out a way to do it.
Your mom finally got a lock.
Right.
Oh, but you could put a big giant sign that says, "Do not go in the house. There's nothing
Oh,
there."
no, that's
and they're
an
like,
invitation.
Oh, that's it. There's something in the house.
Mhm.
Okay, I get it. It doesn't work,
Don't go into the house, wink, wink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
The crowds have gotten bigger and bigger. And obviously on Halloween, we get the biggest crowd. Last year, talking about people getting in trouble for blocking off the street, we actually talked about maybe getting like a block party permit. So I went down and talked to the city and said, this is what we do. We're thinking about doing a block party permit for just Halloween night, just the one night, because it's busy. And they basically told us, they said, we really don't do block party permits. They say, we don't tell you can't close the street. We basically say just use your discretion.
Oh, well, then we're going to close the street.
So what we did is to kind of
wink, wink.
To kind of sort of split the difference, we basically just took barricades, put them at the end of the street.
You almost have to.
Left room for cars to come through, and put signs on the barricades that basically just said no non-resident traffic, no non-resident parking.
See what I would do?
And it dropped our traffic. It dropped our traffic by probably 85%.
It's basically just a visual deterrent at that point.
Yeah,
and it works. And it worked good.
Just go and get one of those, like a body they have at some of those Halloween stores. Dress it up as a kid, lay it in the street, put blood all over it, and go, look, this is what happened, and we can't have any more cars down
And
here.
some crime scene tape around.
Yeah, no. Don't that. Just we've called the police.
They're
on their way. Like, do it like one step before that. Then it doesn't look. It's like, look, I don't know what happened. The kid's dead.
Right.
It's the Rabinowitz kid from down the street.
So yeah,
Shay's like, that's not even funny, man.
No, I think his mom just had a heart.
yeah, right. But
Have you ever had the conversation about going in the house and doing a couple of rooms?
There was always kind of talk about, maybe we could use the garage at some point.
Yeah.
We clear it out. Maybe we could go like around the side of the house, but the way it's kind of built, it just doesn't work right.
Yeah.
So it's the footprint is really short. We measured it. It's 60 feet.
But it's fun. It's more fun than just the guy down the street who's got the light on and a bowl of treats that says "Take one."
Well, it's 60 feet. But you
that
walk
guy.
5 feet into it, and you're in another world.
Yeah.
And people are like.
So describe it. What happens? You walk up to Boot Hill, and what do you see?
Well, it's kind of starts off ooh then the screaming comes later, right?
Yeah. So you're doing Lost World.
We kind of it's a lot of visuals and stuff. A lot of things for people to look at on the way in. And just when they think it's over, that's when the terror starts and it's screaming all the way out.
Oh yeah, no, I can attest to that because we went up to the door. I think it was Austin that ran screaming. Right, Austin? Do you remember going to Boot Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Josie was barely walking.
Yeah.
When was this? I have pictures.
Yeah, we have pictures from Boot
I
Hill.
have pictures.
Pictures.
What year was this?
2000. I think we lived in Riverside, so it might have been 2010.
Oh my gosh.
So you would have been 30?
There's significant differences since then. But
Yeah. Well, you guys go to all the Halloween conventions too.
A little bit.
And you have this giant setup of a building that you set up.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how
that's
you
part
do
of
that.
That's part of Boot Hill, yeah.
We go to conventions and we have to take a box of books, a box of time boxes, and giveaways. And Rachel's like, "Look, the car's full. All right, we have to, which kid is staying home?" Right? Or we'll go, look, we have to go down beforehand, the Friday night before, and set this up. And I'm like, "Honey, it's a bunch of books. You guys set up a building." I'm always impressed because those of you that's never been to like Midsummer Scream or Scare LA, you did Midsummer Scream this year, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like the Boot Hill the Boot Hill
Display.
oddity is you walk up and there's this big house and the people you're there to see are sitting on the porch. Like it's no small affair. You're being nonchalant, but that must be a nightmare to set up. God bless you.
It's not too bad. I mean, it all breaks down and flattens out, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it still takes, 3 or 4 truckloads of stuff. And
3 or 4 truckloads to get it all there.
not giant trucks. Like,
But it doesn't matter. Truckloads.
Oh, yeah.
They have it down to a science putting it up.
Yeah.
It goes
Yeah,
up pretty
a little
quick
bit,
between
yeah.
all the guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Like we're working on Boot Hill right now, and it'll take us a good 3.5 weeks to build, not planning and all that stuff. But the whole thing will come down in 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's gone. It goes down real fast.
So by November 1st, it's turkeys and
it's
pumpkin
it's long
spice
gone.
lattes. Don't you hate that? You know what I hate most about it? The term. We're about to go from scary to merry. Oh.
I haven't heard that.
Oh, I have. I think I wrote it for a
That's
Knott's
your world, right?
newsletter.
I did.
Because
a couple-
Knott's, I'm sorry, not from Knott's, we go from cobwebs to wreaths in one day.
Well, we do
Yeah.
the same thing. Like at our house, we have the house all decorated, right? Because Halloween.
2 months for
And
Halloween, our decoration.
It's like
Oh, I know the feeling.
instead of going back and forth, it's like I'm gonna go from Halloween right to Christmas and just eliminate.
No,
the
we
New Year.
can't. Rachel's got a thing about turkeys.
Nah, I got
So
time
we're
for that.
stuck with turkey decorations for 6
Thanksgiving
weeks.
is highly underrated. It's my favorite holiday. I love it. And I
Yeah,
love
but it's
turkey.
one day you
So
eat
cute.
and it's over.
But is there another holiday
It's a good
where you
day,
celebrate it
though.
by hanging pictures of what you're going to eat? That's the thing I can't figure
It's a
out.
good menu.
The whole
Right.
thing's good.
It's like a
November
cannibal.
1st,
It's like a cannibal with a swimsuit calendar. Oh, there's Miss May.
Decorate. November 2nd, we do turkey hands.
See, she's got a whole thing. If you're gonna, you should come closer, Ironside. We can't.
Forever.
Yeah.
Now you can hear my big mouth, trust me.
Yeah.
And then all month long, we leave little notes. I write things we're thankful for, and it's an important holiday where you tell each other things you wouldn't on any other day.
Yeah.
You don't do that
I'm-
for things.
I'm
for
thankful
Christmas
it's one
or for-
day.
I
And
like
then
Oh, here,
it
no.
ends
Here's the
with
thing.
Black
Yeah,
Friday.
no. Here's the
It's best
thing is,
holiday
see what you're
ever.
missing. What you're missing is, we go to all the trouble. Like for years, I have cooked a full turkey dinner.
Yeah, but he's burnt the house down twice. Fire trucks called out this year at the new house
For a
and,
turkey?
and the year before in Riverside.
What?
Full engines, hot firemen running with hoses, fire. Not like
What were you cooking with? A flamethrower or what?
The juice
He does
spilled
it
over.
every year.
The
Oh,
juice.
deep frying or
No,
Oh,
just the
yeah.
juice in the
And he starts
oven.
a fire. I'm talking like you open it and
You need a
flames
bigger
come
pan.
out and it-
Yeah, exactly. You need a bigger pan. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
So
How many
bad.
years of marriage?
23.
Are you,
22.
are you sure? See,
Been
she
together
doesn't know.
23.
Uh-oh.
No,
She doesn't know.
Together 23, married
I've
22.
cooked almost every single one of those. And we're not talking like, well, Dad made a turkey. No, I make all the side dishes, everything. So
I
two
decorate.
screw-ups? Two screw-ups is going to bring it up? Here's the thing, though. Here's Thanksgiving at the Tucker house. We're all thankful to be together as a family. And you have enough turkey, and we watch Home Alone or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
And then by 8 o'clock, Rachel's out the door.
Shopping.
She's thankful, and we're like, well, there she goes,
There you go.
kids.
I tuck you all
Then we can
in,
play,
and I shop till
PlayStation.
5 a.m. the next
Oh
morning.
my
You,
God.
you know what part
Tradition.
of Thanksgiving?
Oh, get in here on there.
What part is better than the turkey? Because I think the turkey's overrated.
All your
I
mother's
think
tradition.
I think we need to stop celebrating the turkey and celebrate the better dish of Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Not the stuffing.
Okay.
Not any of
Where
that.
are you
Here it comes.
The dinner wall.
I knew it.
The dinner wall is the best part of the entire meal.
Oh, I thought
Because
you were going
it's the
chicken
only
strips.
time you make the ones that you put on the cookie sheet. You know those ones that you have to bake?
How did this derail?
I don't know.
Dinner rolls.
It's
What are those
horrifying.
called?
Brown and serve.
Brown and serve. Those rolls that you make
All right.
for
All
Thanksgiving.
right. Let's save that for next month, okay?
Yeah.
Back to Boot Hill.
Sorry.
We're thankful for Boot Hill. So, have you noticed going to these conventions that it increases traffic to the attraction?
A little bit, but not much. Because basically, it's just they've been a little bit too far away, you know.
Yeah.
But home haunts have really gone up lately. People are getting more and more interested in home haunts.
Well, you know what's
that kind
happened
of thing.
is people are putting lists together.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, I got to work on where they all are. It's one guy going, hey, I got a list.
Yeah.
And here's a way to do them all in a single night or that sort of thing. So
That's why we do like 3 weekends, because then people can have time to get around. You know, oh, you're open on the 14th. Okay, cool. I can come see you before I do the
yeah,
other stuff.
I think when we went to your event, you had a haunters night,
Yeah.
and it was like a Tuesday,
Yeah, Tuesday.
And that's
or
why we
Monday.
were able to
Monday,
go
probably.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday
Yeah.
because there was no Scary Farm that night, and I was able to
Right.
go.
Yeah.
How many kids do you think you see in a night on Halloween?
On Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
man.
had
Gosh.
since
Like 1,500 or something?
Wow, really?
I think
Since
1,700 people around that came through on Halloween.
1,700.
I think it
Yeah.
was around
How many
that.
trick or treaters did we get last year, Rachel?
4.
4. I can't do 4%, so we'll say you had 400%, Charlie Bucket. 4 kids versus 1,700. That's amazing.
Yeah, we,
and you guys aren't giving out big candy bars.
No.
no,
Because that'll
But
get the kids to the door.
We do give out candy every night we're open though.
Yeah, well, you have to, right?
But yeah, it was last year. Because
What?
Not really.
Not really?
They want to.
Because, I took Josie trick-or-treating last year, and there were people at their door. How you doing? Happy trick-or-treat? Oh, you got no candy. Then why is your door open? Why is your light on? And
Right.
Josie's trying to leave, and I'm going, you suck! Because you know me, I ain't shy. What are you saying? Shut your door. Turn the light off.
Yeah,
I'm going to take a
people.
dump right in your
Off
yard.
is the universal sign for
I'm
go
a jerk
away or
off.
no candy, you know.
Yeah.
Last
The worst is going to the mall where everybody's participating, but like the jewelry store. they're shining the jewelry, and you're like, you got candy for the kids? We're not doing that this year. And what do I do? What do I do, kids? You suck! Nobody go to Daniel's. Oh, I do. I'm awful. But what does it cost? $20
Right.
to make 100 or more kids happy? Ew. Sorry, Shea. You keep trying to talk. I interrupt you. I'm so sorry. You can yell, "You suck" at me if you want.
The last couple of years, on Halloween, I stay home for a couple hours and go trick or treating with the kids, and then I'll, once they're kind of done and back to the house, I get in my car and I drive down to Irvine, and do the last couple hours of Boot Hill. Last year, we opened up at 6:30. We usually open up about 6:30.
A little bit
Yeah,
sooner.
about
Yeah,
6:30.
on Halloween. So I drove down from Cypress to Irvine, turned the corner on the street, not my mom's street, but the street leading to my mom's street, where there's an elementary school where we actually...
And you hit a kid.
Yeah. I could have. There's an elementary school that we tell people to park at, because they can park there till 10 p.m. And I turned down the street, and I looked, and the street is lined with cars parked. And I went, there's no way that's for us. And then I got closer to the school, and I glanced over the school parking lot, and the school parking lot is full.
This is last year.
This is last year. And there are cars circling the school parking lot. And I get to our street, and there are more and more people the closer I get to the street. And I turn the corner to my mom's street, and I see the two barricades that we have set up, and I see nothing but a sea of people from sidewalk to sidewalk past the barricades. And it was easily the busiest we've ever been.
That's awesome.
Without a doubt.
We were like,
and this was,
we've made it.
yeah, and where the barricades are it's 6 houses roughly.
Oh, at least.
From
It's
that
got to be
from,
1,000 feet
from
away.
those from those barricades to where my mom's house is, and there were people back at those barricades.
So when are you going to make the Boot Hill movie to go along with this?
We've
talked about it.
Of course, that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Just like a 25-minute movie, and then like people go see the attraction, and then there's a merchandise table with the movie on disc.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we sell
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Buttons.
Yeah.
But
You've learned to, like I have, if you put out a product, doesn't matter what it is, that people like, people feel like, I want to support this. How do I support this?
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. Sure.
Well, I think one thing that makes us a little different is like everything we have, we build ourselves. Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Nothing's just store-bought. You know, and everything is one theme. It all looks authentic.
Is there anything worse than going to somebody's house where they bought like 25 Spirit animated things? You're like, oh, there's the talking the tombstone, and there's the squawking bird,
The electric
and
chair
it's like,
guy.
oh, it's nothing matches. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, the only thing I think we bought really is like maybe those big skeletons, you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
who wants to make that? You know?
Right, no, but those fit your theme, and you would theme them up.
Right,
Like if it was a clown, you wouldn't just go, well, we got a clown.
Yeah, no.
Let's put that in there somewhere.
You know, we have people like looking inside and going, "Wow, what's this the rest of the year?" It's a house. What do you know? I mean, it's like, let's see, we're in the middle of Irvine. There's a house, graveyard, house. You know, of course, it's a house, but they lose track because
If you're in Riverside, that wouldn't be far off, because when the kids, we lived in Riverside, we would take the kids to school at what's the elementary school you went to? The middle school.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Viegas
Middle School, and you have kids. You ever take your kids to school? It's a nightmare. There's never been any urban planner that can put a school in a place where you can drop the kid off and get out and not be a half an hour, right? So Viegas had all these ways in, but there was one that went up and above the what street was that? Magnolia, I think. Anywho, you drive by and there's a cemetery, a little tiny cemetery, right? So we drive by this thing every day. Of course, one day I'm like, I have to stop. I have to figure out what this is, right? Do you remember this? Remember the cemetery?
I don't.
So there's a little cemetery. So I write down the name of it. It's an Indian name.
Oh boy.
So no, I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. I look it up. In the 30s or 40s, so not that long ago, they broke up all the Indian tribes down there, and they took all the children, and they put them in a school in that area near Villegas, and they gave them a trade. So they took these poor Native American kids from their families, taught them a trade like how to make, whatever, trinkets or something. I don't know. And the kids that died were buried in this cemetery. They're children. Oh my God, it's the scariest thing ever.
This sounds like the beginning of a good movie here.
Right.
But it's all real, which makes it even worse, you know? And I'm driving by the whole time going, you moved the cemetery, the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies. And like the whole time I'm like, oh my God, it's terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah, it's funny because the way Boot Hill's grown, it started just, my mom has a little tiny front grassy area with a tree and stuff. And, as the years have progressed, the trees have grown huge, which is great for us. And my mom's like, I want to trim the trees.
No, we need those for Halloween.
Yeah.
No trimming of the trees.
You can trim that branch. Don't touch that one. I know it's dead, but just leave it there.
We need that. Yeah, we're hanging somebody from that.
But it started out just in the little grassy area in the yard, and it gradually, as it grew, we pulled it out into the driveway. And when I was doing it with Rick, we actually created a pathway with fencing, and I would go out and buy. Then it was about $35, $40 worth of sod, and we would cover the driveway for 2 days, and then take it all up, basically, so we could just extend the graveyard out.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And it's taken on different forms. We actually we had a swamp at one point where we built frames, filled it with water. And
that's
people
great.
would walk through and look at it and go, is this like here? Is this like a water feature?
You know what's great?
year-round?
You know what you're describing? What is so great about Halloween is people buying into it.
Right.
That's the best part. When I was a kid and I had that Ben Cooper box that said, Darth Vader. You take it out and it's a piece of cheap plastic with eye holes, right? And I put it on and I have my whoosh lightsaber. I was Darth Vader. Right. Anybody that walked up to me, I'm Darth Vader, man. Look at me. And the adults are like, it's a shared buy-in. Because I pretend I'm Darth Vader, and the adults go, well, he's Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. So there's that shared kind of thing about Halloween where you go, look, I'm going to build a graveyard on a cul-de-sac in Irvine. And people walk up and go, is this a real graveyard? And you're like, yes it is. And we're all BSing each other, and it's all fun.
Yeah, and it's a huge compliment for us because a lot of the things that we build, like the swamp, people think, oh, is this like the water feature here year-round? So, no, this is the driveway. We park our cars here.
Yeah, that's great.
For 360 whatever days the rest of the year. It's grown substantially. We're kind of at max now at this point.
We're kind of landlocked. Huh?
Yeah, we've pulled so much stuff into it that there's not really anywhere else we can point anything. We've got 5 projections, I think, and 6 in the 120 feet front to back.
Oh my gosh.
We've got, basically 4 scare.
Got 4 scare zones,
so,
6 projections.
4 scare zones, 6 projections, and live acting, right?
Yeah, and 1, 2, 3, 4 live actors.
That's amazing.
In 60 feet.
How far are we from you do the Boot Hill experience, and then right next door is the Boot Hill VR experience that's now 20 minutes long. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite things is we have an effect in a window where it looks like there's shadows of people doing stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's great.
Yeah, and we've actually seen people arguing on whether it's real people or not. Oh, look right there. See, he did the same thing. It can't be that.
That's the ultimate compliment.
It was great. Yeah, I was like, that's awesome.
And one of the kind of fun things about Boot Hill is a lot of the stuff that we've kind of conceptualized and thought, well, let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do that. And with the shadow projections that we were talking about,
and we filmed all that ourselves.
Yeah, we had.
Now people package that.
Yeah.
And sell it.
Poorly. We went to Horror Nights, and they had the same kind of effect.
It
looked terrible. I said, Christ, ours is better than that.
And we had in the upper window of the house, we had a Pepper's Ghost for years, and it looked great. A lot of people missed it because it was only on a section of the window. So we wanted it. We pulled the Pepper's Ghost down into the yard, and we needed to do something up in the window. So I don't remember how we came up with the shadow thing, but we thought about doing something like that, and kind of figured out and wrote a little script out and went and shot it at his mom's house. And all the stuff that we've tried, almost by accident, has worked. Our thought was, we'll hang a sheet, we'll throw some people in front of the sheet, backlight it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, for shadow play.
Or no, I'm sorry, we had them behind the sheet. And then we quickly realized, as I'm looking through the camera, anytime somebody shifts up 3 inches, their shadow grows exponentially.
Yeah,
Perspectives of the whole
So
they're 10 feet tall.
I'm thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? And I'm looking through the camera, and I think Glenn or somebody walked in front of the sheet. I'm like, wait, go back, do that. And that was it.
Yeah.
We took that, just, changed the contrast on it, blurred it out a little bit, and it worked perfect. Framing was all perfect, and it's kind of been like that with everything we've done. Last year we did a projection map on one of the tombstones that we created, and it worked great. And it's the one thing that's kind of nice is how surprised some people are with some of the effects and set pieces that we have.
Well, here's the thing: there's a lot of people, even though these Halloween events are busy, a lot of people they don't go. They don't see any of that stuff. They have no idea,
Right.
And so you show them like a digital projection on a tombstone. And the only time they've ever seen it is the Eyes of Mara
Right.
at Indiana Jones. And it's like, you guys can do what Disney can do? And you're like, yeah, we can if you just settle down.
We get that all the time. They always say, oh, look, they got the thing from the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because we had a very basic Pepper's Ghost in the back corner, which was literally just like the mansion. It was literally a bust.
It was a static piece.
Yeah, static bust underneath a huge piece of glass, and we would light it randomly.
Yeah, well, hey, the reason those effects have lasted so long is because they work.
Yeah.
And people, even you can draw on a piece of paper, this is how we're doing it. And they'll go, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I have no idea how it's done. Well, if you take the glass, I don't get it. It's a ghost. You know what I mean?
The most amazing thing is if you look at it during the day, it looks like a pile of crap.
Every Halloween, it's a Halloween's a nighttime
but then
thing.
It's all about the lighting, and the shadow, and where everything's placed, and that makes.
That's
all the
because good Halloween events are like movies. A movie is effective at scaring you because it can show you exactly what the director wants you to see at the exact moment you're going to see it. Real life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
That's why stage plays aren't really scary because I can look anywhere I want to look. Mm-hmm. But in the dark with a beam of light, I'm not giving you a choice. So you're approaching it cinematically when you light it like that, and you're like, look, we need them to look here, and then look here, and then look here for the big finale.
Well, that was the whole inspiration behind the Omni Movers in the Haunted Mansion.
Exactly.
So they could point you exactly where that's why they're cupped, so you can't look anywhere else.
Yeah. No,
So
you are looking at what, because it's visual. It's a movie.
Yeah.
We're directing you in a movie, and you only get to see, and we'll reveal it when we want to reveal it to you.
Because usually, if you look where you're not supposed to, you see something you're not supposed to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We did Possessed. We got really lucky doing that because the actors are behind glass. They are 12 or 13 feet from the audience or more. There's no danger. And at the end, the story, and you guys know this, the story got them so that when Maggie turned and said, I want to get you or play with you, we had people go, no. And they would talk to it. Like, we're out of here. I was like, oh my God, we did it. Because stage plays are not scary, It's different walking into an attraction, That's why a walk-through maze is always scarier than the log ride or the mine ride. Because you can just shut your eyes and you're out of it.
Yeah.
This is, it's not over. Go ahead, keep walking.
Because of the way it's done, a maze that has walls and everything, you're just kind of walking through. But this one, as soon as you walk in, it's immersive.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're in that environment. And we've had people go halfway and look around the corner. Oh no, forget it.
Yeah.
And they're out.
That's the best part, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you would have had so much fun.
Oh yeah.
But it's great to watch you run away.
Yeah, I mean, one of the really the only complaint that we get about Boot Hill, and it's both a complaint and a compliment, is people want more.
It's too short.
It's too short.
Yeah.
It's too short.
That's the best compliment.
Yeah, and we would love to be able to make it bigger. But then you start getting into we need a place, we need more money, we need more people.
Sure.
And it's just,
if we had more space, it'd be terrifying. If we got them with 60 feet, you give us a couple of hundred, and
Yeah, look how you're talking a really small footprint.
Yeah.
So
but
if you guys had
like because of the way we structure it, it doesn't seem that quite that bad.
Yeah, we always kind of laugh because after it's been up for the month of October, we take everything down, and the yard looks very, very small. And you would think it would be the reverse. When you get all that stuff in there, you'd think it would close it in.
No, I think your
And it doesn't.
imagination expands it.
It really does.
You
It's
know?
amazing.
Whenever you chop up an area, it always seems bigger than an empty spot.
Yeah. Well, we should do Maze at Knott's in the bumper cars, which is not that big.
That's a,
Oh, yeah.
we talk about
That's
that
a
all the
great
time.
They
It's
would,
amazing.
but you'd walk in and you go, where in the hell did they find all this
We were
space?
just saying
I'm
that.
so impressed with that.
Yeah.
You know, the early ones like Nightmares and Malice in Wonderland, they're just amazing use of space. I'm always impressed with that. You ever seen that digitally projected cake that Disney offers? You ever seen this?
I did. The guy that DJ'd our wedding was at a Disney event.
So
and
they
saw
wheel
it.
out a white cake with nothing on it.
Yeah, it's just like a
3 layers
Oh,
white
okay.
cake. They turn the lights off, and the cake comes to life with illumination. And I'm like, well, that's great, except it's not real. You can't eat the light. You know, because
Looks great until you take one piece.
Yeah, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s where, as a kid at a wedding, I got in line because I need a rose.
Right.
All right, I want a rose. Which piece you want? The one with the biggest rose. What are you talking about? So the idea that there's nothing on the cake,
Right.
oh boy, that's the ultimate crap. Oh, it's digital. No, it means that's nothing there.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Tinkerbell, and you can see the Cinderella's coach right up the top of the cake, and it's beautiful. But you know, if one guy in the back turns a light on,
Yeah.
it's just a white, cake.
Yeah, but now you're looking at a movie, not a cake.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't get that. Like my kids are always talking about, well, you know, Dad, the toy doesn't move, but if you put it in front of your phone,
Right.
it does stuff. And I go, well, we had a term for that. It was called an action figure back in the day. The arms and legs moved. Luke would fit in the X-Wing. You know, he's got toys now that are permanently posed in a running motion, and you have to put it on a stand. Toys to life, Austin? He's in another world, speaking of digital. Look at this. He's got like a little... Yeah, we're making fun of your rig you got there. Oh my God. You look like Cypher about to send somebody into the Matrix.
The worst part is, what I'm watching is footage of 2 people playing a video game.
You're wasting your life. You're literally wasting your life.
But no, it's not like a YouTuber thing where they talk as they play a game.
Uh-huh.
This is a tournament for a competitive game.
Competitive gaming, yeah. That's great.
You're proving
So,
his point.
well,
When I was a kid, competitive gaming meant you try to make your quarter last longer.
Yeah.
I'm watching, look, here's the screen, there's the 2 players,
Yeah.
there's the sponsors.
Yeah.
These
I used to play Tempest, Austin, and I hated Tempest. But the Tempest at the liquor store gave 2 credits per quarter.
Whoa.
So I could play 1 quarter on Xevious for 1 game, or 2 on Tempest, and I was like, I'll play the Tempest. You ever played Tempest?
I like
Oh, it's
Tempest.
terrible.
I like
Spin that thing.
Spin it, right? Right?
What game got the best use out of your quarter?
The best use out of my quarter? Oh, Star Wars Arcade.
Oh yeah.
I could do 10 levels on that. Oh, yeah. Red 5 standing by, right? Oh, my God. Especially the sit-down one.
Yeah.
The
The
greatest-
best use of a quarter I got was when I
Is
taped
that
the
the,
string to it and went in and racked up 40.
Yeah,
40
I watched a
credits.
guy.
actually worked.
I watched a guy do that on Pac-Man at the
Oh, I actually did it once.
at
yeah.
McCoy's Market.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
and-
That was it.
He would
Yeah.
go right every time, right? Yeah, and I was like, this guy's my new best friend because I know he ain't playing 40 games.
Right.
Yeah.
So at about 12 games left, he's like, I gotta go. I'm like, I knew I would if I hung around
Yeah.
for 28 games, I'd get the last 12.
Yeah, we had the owner kind of eyeballing us, and he's looking at us, and we're like, "Oh, we dumped a roll of quarters in it." Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what the funny part is? I never had the guts to do that, so hats off to you. The funny part is the guy with the string and the tape and the quarter doing all the credits, and then when it finally breaks, he goes, "Damn it!" Right?
No, we actually got the quarter back.
Oh, so you're one of the lucky
All the way
ones.
back didn't cost us a thing.
Because they always see the guy go, "Damn it!" You know, you're like, "What's wrong?" "Oh, I lost the quarter." You didn't lose the quarter. You got $30 worth of games on this thing, man. Oh my God! Track and field.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So when does Boot Hill open this year?
October 14th would be the first day. That's a Friday.
October 14th.
14th.
What
to 15th.
time?
7.
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
7 to 10 every day that we're open, except for Halloween, which is 6:30 to 10:30.
Okay, and where is it? I'm gonna put it all in the show notes. But for people who are listening, it's Irvine, 7 to 10, Boot Hill, and the address is
16 Goldenrod, Irvine.
16 Goldenrod,
Yeah.
which is what Han Solo calls C-3PO.
That's right.
Get in, Goldenrod.
Oh, give our website.
Yeah, give out. You plug away. What else you got?
Well, we have a whole website that's got all the information on it. So it's legendofboothill.com.
Legendofboothill.com.
That's it.
www.legendofboothill.com.
Yeah, and there's some pictures on there, and then all the dates and times and all that
It's
stuff.
like a history. Do you have old
Not so
pictures?
much. We have some old pictures, and,
Yeah.
and the whole legends in there,
Yeah,
so you can read the backstory.
The legends on there. I always like to keep like the pictures and stuff to a minimum, just because we are so small.
That's all you got.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
you
you know,
show
if we-
everything.
we don't
What's the
wanna show
point?
everything,
Yeah.
you know, we've had people come through and do like flow through videos and stuff. It's like, I don't want. It's like you see that, you see it. It's like that's
Yeah.
it. That's all there
You're
is.
like, look, Rick West. I don't care if it started with you. We're not doing no flow-through videos.
So, but yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of work every year. It's as I've gotten older and married and with kids now. It's become a little bit harder. I don't have as much free time to drive down there on a daily basis.
Your kids dig it?
Salem is still a little bit young. She's my timid one, so I'm kind of curious to see how she reacts to it this year.
She's what, 3?
Not quite. She's 2.5. Yeah, she'll be 3 in December.
Okay.
So I'm not sure about her. Indy loves it. Indy started scaring with us 2 years. Indy's 5.
Yeah.
Just turned 5 in June. Indy started scaring with us not last year, but the year before. Got a little more into it last year. Got his own costume and stuff.
Well, boys realize quickly the power in scaring
Yeah.
people. To get the better of somebody, that's like a drug.
Yeah, and he really likes it. He got his first set of slider pads this year.
Oh, that's all. Josie's already bugging me for hers. Josie had career day at school, and they had to write a paper. What do I want to be when I grow up? She goes, Dad, I wrote kindergarten teacher because they're not going to understand if I write slider.
It was for the yearbook. For 6th grade pictures, you got to write what you want to be underage.
Yeah, Indy.
Sliders.
Because I've been sliding out front for the last probably 6 or 7 years, which is not easy on actual asphalt.
No, they'll tear up your hubcaps.
I'll go
pads.
I'll go through probably 5 sets in 8 days.
When knots turn to not asphalt, but like the rocky stuff. People who are like, man, I went through a set a year, now it's a set a weekend.
Yeah. So
it tears it up.
I've been doing that, so Indy's kind of watched it. Last year, he kind of wanted to do it, and we put pads on him because he kept dropping to his knees. I said, okay, you can go down here, just don't slide yet. And then we were at Midsummer, and he came out and was scaring around the booth in his little costume, and he started slide because he dances as well, and he does slides in his dances, so he knows how to do it. And he started doing it.
Did your heart just soar?
It was fun. It was
Come
fun
on,
because he
it's
started
the greatest
doing,
thing ever.
I'm like, you can't. I said you're gonna hurt your knees. And
now little boys are indestructible. Do you know this?
And
well, plus his knees are like 8 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
And it just so happens right next to us they were selling pads.
Oh my gosh!
So I went over and I said, what are the smallest pads you have? And they gave me a tape measure. I'm like,
they put elbow pads on his knees.
He just fits into a small. So I bought him a set of pads, and then he started sliding, and people were loving it.
That's great.
So we're gonna see how he does. I told him he can't.
And what's great about it is that you find a lot of kids. Oh, that's what Dad does. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I need to rebel. I don't want to. I'm into football. But sometimes kids will surprise you, and they get right into what you're into, and you're like, we can share this now without me being like a jerk.
Right.
You know, like how many dads drag their kids to football games every week?
Yeah.
You know, I always tell my kids, you hit the jackpot. I don't like any of that crap. I don't watch any sports. I don't smoke. I don't drink beer. I want to watch movies that I've seen 100 times.
Yeah, we Indy just started kindergarten this year, and he had a couple weeks ago. He had a school camp out at a school that ended up getting canceled because there was no power at the school because they were working on it that night. So they said, "Oh, we'll reschedule it," and of course they rescheduled it on our second night. So I told Glenn, I'm like, there's a good possibility I won't be there on our second night.
Right.
I said
because he would demand to
we're
go
gonna
to the
give-
school.
I said we're going to give him the choice. We're going to tell him, say we have Boot Hill or we have the camp out, and
That's a no-brainer.
And we told him, and he's like, well, I don't know. He's like, well, I don't do the camp out. I can do Boot Hill, another night or whatever. And then we actually have a film crew coming down and documenting some different home haunts. and they're going to be there on the 15th. So I told Indy. Aaron told him first, which I didn't know, and I talked to him. I said, I want to talk to you about your camp out in Boot Hill. He's like, oh no, Mom already told me there's a film crew there. I'm going to go into Boot Hill. All right, that's okay. I said it's your decision. I said you don't have to, but if that's what you want to do, that's cool.
When kids find that creative spark and they realize what they get out of it, there's no stopping them. You know, we put Josie in Possessed as a lark.
Right.
I said, we'll put her in, we'll film her on the green screen. If she can't do it, we'll get it in like 2-second increments and we'll stitch it together and it'll be anything that's wonky. Well, it's a ghost, right? We can get away with it. And she's nailing it. And now she wants to be a slider. And she's asking me at 10, when do I get to be on the streets? And I'm like, oh my God. Ma'am, you're breaking things, ma'am.
It's gonna fall in its glass.
Rachel's breaking things in the house, so. All right, so Boot Hill, it starts the 14th of October. 16 goldenrod?
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, 16 goldenrod in Irvine. Legendofboothill.com. Anything else you want to plug? What do you do for a living?
I'm a technician. I repair espresso machines, stuff like that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You repair espresso? It's awesome.
Yeah. The big commercial ones.
You just yell at people and go, you're doing it, you're breaking it.
No, I gave up.
Dumb
on trying to
baristas.
teach
You ever
them
just
anything.
look at dumb baristas and they
Yeah,
go,
they all
if
go to
you-
these barista contests now. Everybody knows. Everybody's an expert. I've been doing it for 40 years.
Oh,
so
sure.
They're an expert.
Yeah.
So I just gave up.
Just go, look, you can tell me how to do my job when you can correctly spell Anthony on a cup. Right?
Or Aaron.
Or anything, right? Oh, yeah, they butcher her name.
Man.
Well, Julie, they would July. That's July, dumbass.
Pretty easy.
Oh, my God, that's funny.
Yeah, with Boot Hill, we started doing it, I don't know how many years ago, probably 10 years ago. We actually do, part of our proceeds go to Children's Hospital.
So you take up a collection.
Yeah, it's completely free. We do donations.
Just donations only.
Yeah. And we basically, part of that goes straight to Chalk. It's just a basically way to cover our expenses.
I just
every
have this
year.
visual of you as a dead cowboy walking into the hospital. Here to visit the kids. Here you go, kids.
I will say I get
go away.
odd looks when I walk into the bank with stacks of singles, $1 bills.
Oh, yeah, like you're at a strip club.
Okay.
That's really funny.
We need to put in $1,200 in singles.
Yeah. What club are you from, pal?
Where do you work?
Boot Hill. Ooh, what goes on there? Did you say Boob Hill? It's very popular, Boob Hill. It's in Upper Irvine.
Right.
It's by the Spectrum. All right, anything else we want to talk about? We're going to wrap this up. Any Force Awakens stuff you want to tell me about? Or
No, I'm looking forward to Rogue One.
Yeah? God, I have my fingers crossed that they let the guy make a movie.
I know.
Just let him make a movie. Yeah. You hired the director to make a movie. Let him make a movie. Because all I've heard is that they've taken it away and they're recutting it to make it more kid-friendly, and that irritates me.
man.
Not a whole lot longer. I'm trying to get my R2 done before then, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Are you doing which version?
I'm building just a standard R2.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Work and money.
Yeah.
He was originally going to be kind of wood and styrene. Just because aluminum was too expensive.
Yeah.
Now it's adamantium.
And there's
right.
nothing but
Shea doesn't do anything part.
He's nothing but aluminum.
You're like the
right
Tony
now.
Stark of nerddom.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get him done. But
I always say that people don't know Shea. How many suits of armor do you own?
Three.
No,
4.
4. I'm sorry, 4.
I have 2 stormtroopers.
2 stormtroopers.
I have a Boba Fett and a Jango Fett.
A Boba Fett and a Jango Fett. It's not like you just switch helmets. You have a Boba Fett and a Jango Fett
My Boba
and
Fett
2
Jango
stormtroopers, and you're talking about making an R2 unit.
Yeah.
Anything else? You just told me you had like a
Next year he's making a full-size Death Star.
full-size Death Star.
We wanted to do like a 7-foot adit on our lawn for Christmas, but we just never got around to it.
Well, you gotta get to that.
This year.
No, this year's art. I gotta finish R2.
R2.
Yeah, that's R2's my goal after Boot Hill wraps. I'm back to working on R2.
So you don't know what's after R2. We need to find out your projects in advance.
It depends on
Do
how
Power
long-
Droid.
Depends on
on the characters in the next
we
movie.
actually
Well, that big black robot's going to be the big thing
Yeah.
everywhere, right? What you know
we
his
talked
name?
about-
I don't know
we
his
talked about
name.
doing a Gonk droid.
Yeah, I love the Gonk droid.
Yeah, we put Indy in it.
Yeah, that's
So
cute.
cool. It's two
I ne-
two bins.
Yeah, I never made a gonk droid, but you know what I made? I made the action figure.
Oh, really?
The blue power droid with
Uh-huh.
the black little rubber thing on
Yeah,
top.
yeah, yeah.
I have on my eBay profile picture is Austin as that
Oh my gosh.
because it's just a blue bin upside
Right.
down with the paper face
Right.
on it and the little rubber tip. Every kid lost the rubber tip off the power droid. I love power droid because he clicks.
Yeah.
I want to get that Gentle Giant big one.
Yeah. I have a couple of those.
I can't.
Just
I only
a couple, yeah.
I only have two. I have Yak Face and Blue Snaggletooth.
What do I have? I've got.
I have all the-
Stormtrooper. So you have 3.
I don't know where the Stormtrooper's at.
We need to know where it's at.
Shea built something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stormtrooper. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I have mostly the Jack specific ones because they're cheaper.
Right. Yeah, we've got one of the 4-foot New Order troopers.
Did you
standing
see
up
where
front
people
door.
are taking those, cutting them apart, and making costumes out of them?
I'm-
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
as soon as I bought it, I'm like, I could totally cut that.
Oh
apart.
yeah, it's totally brilliant.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna do like one of those like little girl pink ones or
Right.
some sort of Disney flavored ones. Then it's like, oh okay, then it's like $50.
Right.
It's not a big deal.
Right. Oh, speaking of pink, that's my next project after R2. Aaron and Salem want an R2.
Oh, like a R2KT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be the entire thing's gonna be crystals. Aaron's gonna
Pulling it out.
put crystals.
Why?
Because that's what she wants.
Why?
It's
What
what she wants
for?
to do.
What does it do?
It's gonna do everything the other one does.
It's just
gonna be a
it's
lot-
just
it's
made
gonna
of
be a lot
crystals.
cheaper. Well, no, it's gonna be a full functioning R2. It's just the dome's gonna be.
Okay,
All
hey,
crystals.
I don't judge
It's-
anybody. Whatever floats your boat, man. That's if that's what you want to make. That's what you want to make.
Somebody's got a dome on YouTube that's like half done, where it's like they have it on like a turntable, and I showed it to her, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, I'm doing that."
What do you think of the you ever seen the Disney Princess Boba Fett team?
I don't know.
They
if
have
I
like Snow White, Belle, Ariel, all as Mandalorians.
No.
I don't think I have.
I don't understand that. I don't understand
I get
why
it.
that's a thing.
I get it, but
I
I
want a Stormtrooper as Snow White.
I really don't like Star Wars Disney crossover. I just don't like it.
Cross-pollinating.
I hate it.
You're not a girl.
No,
You're a
I
kid.
just I keep telling the
I get
kids,
it. It's called corporate profits. That's what it is.
Yeah.
but they don't make any money off that. That's all custom.
It's all
Sometimes
cosplay
the
stuff.
parks have.
Interest. People have more than one. And they
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. See, I keep telling the kids I'm going to throw my own convention, and it's going to be called Pure Con. And you're only allowed to cosplay as the character. No mashups, no clever
That was
this,
boring.
no clever.
No.
I shouldn't have to stare at the costume for 30 seconds going, oh, it's Belle as a Jedi. Okay, I thought she was holding a vibrator. You ever seen that? It's Lumiere as a lightsaber, but it looks like a marital aid. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Then I get edited for the things I say.
I don't get it. That's funny. You just curse.
Which is why I've been thinking of some things you have to censor that I'm going to tell you afterwards.
Oh, what should I censor, Austin? Go ahead.
Well, censor that.
Yeah, okay.
And then
I won't say that. I won't say that Belle was carrying a marital aid. What else?
And then there was another part where you said you don't know say, and you said it really quickly.
Okay, and what did it sound like?
I'm not saying
You don't know Shea.
I don't
Is
get
it Japanese for a bad word?
No.
You don't know Shea.
No. I
don't understand.
Like you almost didn't like fully say. You like cut yourself off.
Like I was gonna say,
shit?
like poop.
Yeah.
Yes, your mother just says it. It's been on the show a few times.
This is all getting edited.
No,
out.
it's not. No,
Yes, it is.
this is what people tune in for.
No.
People tune in going, but I hope at the end Austin comes up with some nonsense.
And I went out to dirt.
He wants gourmet chicken shits, right?
No.
Oh my God! I should have said strip. Oh no! There goes our family rating.
Edit that one.
I'd like to thank everyone for buying the special edition of our podcast and enjoying the.
I'd like to
episode.
tell you that once upon a time it wasn't a big deal. E.T. has cursing in it. E.T. has cursing in it.
And guns.
And guns, not walkie-talkies. Star Wars. I remember when I was a kid, I had the Star Wars storybook. When R2D2 beeps, turn the page, and he said, there was two curse words in it. It was Obi-Wan saying, "Some damn fool idea crusade like your father's," and I would rewind and go, "He said damn." Oh my God, he said damn. Because I had remember that cassette player I showed you?
Yeah.
I had a cassette player and I would go, damn fool idealistic crusade. Damn fool idealistic crusade. And my mom would go, what are you doing? Nothing. And there's another one. Is there another curse word? I want to think that there is.
I'm not that I can think about the top.
I'm trying to think. Does somebody say hell?
Doesn't Han say, damn fool, I knew he was going to say that or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, no, I think it was when, and it might just be the way the tape was made. It's during the Death Star, during the prison escape, when they're rescuing Leia. Get in there, you big furry oaf. I don't care what you smell. And on the cassette, one of those sounds like a curse word.
Oh, really?
I don't know which one it is, though. Right. But, like, yeah, I was just, damn fool, I just gonna say. He said, damn. Oh, it's my kid's cassette. What's wrong with that?
That's funny.
Austin?
Everything's sugar-coated nowadays. You know how it is. People are always willing to...
It's gone crazy, though. I mean,
you can't get it. PC's everywhere. We're not PC here, so who cares?
First they showed Dennis Franz's butt on TV, but now we can't say damn on a movie,
Oh, yeah, no. They'll lock you away now.
They cuss on Cartoon Network all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. Why?
They do, actually.
But it's okay to have a half-naked chick eating a Carl's Jr. burger, right? That's fine.
Right. What sells burgers?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As long as it's big money, it doesn't matter.
I'm trying to look up cusses in Star Wars, and all I can find are cuss words in the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah, no.
Like how to cuss using
in-lore curse words.
Like when that robot goes Ichuta, and 3PO goes, how rude. Like he tells that robot tells 3PO to F off, right? He's like, oh hello, and he's like Ichuta. How rude. What's wrong? How did I fast I come up with
Star
that?
Wars
Why do
Rebel
you know that
socks
exact
balance.
moment off the
Oh
top of
no,
your head?
this happened?
What'd you say?
Why do you know that exact moment off the top of your head?
Because we've been watching
Down
it for
to the
30
exact
years.
Because it's-
words that he says.
Because it's all in here, man. Yeah, it's all in here, man. It's just the way it goes.
It's Empire Strikes Back. Han says, then I'll see you in hell.
Oh, see, he does say hell. Your tauntaun will freeze before it reaches the first marker. Then I'll see you in hell.
And then
Hold on.
Obi-Wan. That's the other one.
Damn fool idealistic
Yeah.
crusade. No, the worst line, where is it? Obi-Wan says, he was afraid you'd follow me on some damn fool idealistic crusade. I told you. No, the worst line, the most evil, vile line in Star Wars is when he goes, Anakin was a good friend. You're like, that guy's full of crap. No way. No, not now. I believed it back then, though.
Right.
I believed it. So, Rogue One. You going to see Rogue One opening night?
Oh, yeah.
Have to, right?
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Big Newport.
Newport, Rogue
Biggest
One.
thing.
You know what makes me so happy about Rogue One? Is that people on the internet are so stupid that for the last 6 weeks, everybody says Rouge One. R-O-U-G-E, Rouge One. So I just think of makeup. Because people are just so stupid. Rouge One standing by. I love it, man. Will it be good? Here's the question. Did you see Bob Iger came out recently and said it's not going to make as much money as Force Awakens? It's just simply not. It's not going to make it.
And it won't.
No, it won't. But for the CEO to go,
Yeah, but it won't for-
everybody just calm down.
I don't think it's because it may not be good. I think it's because it's not an episode. It's something else, and it's not something that we've been waiting, for a long
I
time
think it will
with
succeed because of that. Because guys like us have been waiting since 1977 for a Star Wars movie that doesn't have to be about the Skywalkers or the Death
guys
Star
like us,
or Darth Vader.
If it says Star Wars, I'm in. So it
It's a
doesn't
prequel.
matter. Yeah.
It's another damn prequel.
It is.
Listen, I'll go on record as this, and I've said it before. If the movie doesn't end, like, the shawarma scene in the Avengers, where they're just eating shawarma at the end, it has to end like that, with all of them sitting around going, well, we did it. Well, it wasn't that great. And then Darth Vader comes in and just kills them all. And then they just cut to black.
I'm sure this
That's-
will have an ending because it's got nowhere to go.
It's a self-contained one-off.
Yeah.
It has to end. None of those characters can survive. Don't give me that Ahsoka crap.
put 'em in the
Ahsoka
cartoon
got
one
away. No. What?
Why let the characters survive and then stick them in the cartoon
Yeah,
for 2
no.
seasons?
Oh, kill me
He's
now.
on his Thrawn now,
I
right?
found a Facebook group for you.
Yeah. Joining old Obi-Wan on some damn fool idealistic crusade. So
That's all I
does
post about.
Boot Hill have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
It's Facebook/Legend of Boot Hill.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So just go to Google, put in Legend of Boot Hill. You get the website, you get the Facebook.
Yeah.
It
Yep,
starts
it'll be there.
October 14th.
Come see us.
Come see them. Get the schedule online and check out Legend of Boot Hill. I want to thank Shea, Julie, and Glenn for coming down. We had some pizza. We had a great conversation. Nice job, everybody. So who wants to end the show? Who wants to end the show?
Glenn, do it.
Why me? Why does it have to be me?
Oh, it's got to be you.
Gotta be
I
you.
don't know how to end the
Yeah, you
show.
do.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, please welcome Glenn Schmidt, who will be taking us out. See, instead of doing the national anthem, you will do the private parts, 91 Reasons ending. Are you ready?
No, not really.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm the voice. I'm Jeff Tucker. I'm joined by Luna, Austin, Rachel, and Chelsea. Hi, I'm Chelsea. I want to be a slider. And together with our guest tonight, we have been...
91 Reasons.
Yeah!
Thanks for listening. By Gramthar's Hammer. We'll be back with another episode. Live long and prosper. May the force be with you. So say we all. Hey, hey, hey.